Hello everyone and welcome to the Late Night Show with Kylee Stobb. I'm your host, Kylee Stobb, and I'm here with a very special guest tonight. Can you introduce yourself for us?
I'm Taylor Knight. I'm Kylie's 7th grade alter ego.
Well, Taylor, it's very nice to have you on the show. Now, what seems to be the problem there?
I thought you were bringing me here to film my web show from 7th grade with my friends. But then you told me I can't have my own web show anymore.
Oh, yes, of course. That. Well, Taylor, do you know why I told you that?
Because I'm a failure who will never have a famous web show like iCarly.
Actually, that's not why at all. It's actually to explain some parts of the brain, which is what tonight's show is all about.
So you lied to me and I do get to film my web show?
No, you don't get to film your web show. Sorry.
Oh my god, I hate you! I'm so depressed!
Actually, Taylor, that's just your amygdala acting up. See, the amygdala controls emotions and emotional behavior, which may cause you to lash out and do other things associated with emotions.
Lash out?
Yeah, lash out. Like, let your emotions control you. Like, what are you doing with that baseball bat? Cut to commercial! Cut to commercial!
Get back here!
Okay, one black eye later, and we're back. So, Taylor is asleep. So there's that. See, that could be one of several things acting up for her. The reticular formation, which controls consciousness and behavior. The cerebral cortex, which controls consciousness as well as memory, attention, perception, awareness, thought, and language. The thalamus, which can make you feel tired or alert, and also sends sensory and motor signals. Or the brainstem, which is in charge of sleep as well as other functions like eating. Actually, my brainstem is also doing a lot of work right now because after she beat me up during commercial, got a little out of breath, so it's also controlling my cardiac and respiratory functions, which helps keep my heart rate in check with my physical activity. Fun stuff. Oh, Taylor, glad you're awake and much calmer, hopefully. Thanks for that.
Oh, no problem.
No, see, Taylor, while you were asleep, my brainstem and my medulla were going pretty crazy. Getting my heart rate up, making me breathe really fast, my blood pressure changing. It was great. Thanks for that.
You needed a workout anyway. It's good for you.
Oh, while we're on the subject of health and things like that, we can talk about the hypothalamus and the pituitary glands. The hypothalamus controls things like metabolism, body temperature, hunger, thirst, fatigue, sleep, circadian rhythms. It's quite fun. And then we have the pituitary gland, which is involved in hormone production. Things like growth hormones, so that your skin can grow back, like if it was ripped or bruised by a baseball bat, wielded by a person who just wanted to film a web show.
I'm sure you won't even remember it in a few months, right?
Well, you see, Taylor, as soon as I saw you coming toward me with that baseball bat, it was processed by my visual cortex, which processes sights. My occipital lobe was able to perceive the motion of you swinging the bat. And my parietal lobe, which controls spatial sense, told me that you were very close to me with the bat. And now, whenever I think of baseball bats, I'll think of the image of you swinging one at me because of the emotional association that my temporal lobe is in charge of. Thank you, Taylor. That's also due to association areas, because now I associate bats with black eyes, bloody noses, and cut lips. And because of my hippocampus, that was transferred from my short-term memory to my long-term memory, meaning I'll have to remember that forever.
Oh, well, sorry.
Well, that's quite alright, Taylor. You know, it was probably your frontal lobe telling you to do that, because your frontal lobe is in charge of motivation and reward. And it probably told you that you'd get a reward, like your own web show back for hitting me with a bat. It's not gonna happen. Now, Taylor, would you care to explain to the people how you hit me with that bat?
I don't know, I just kinda lifted it up and hit you.
You see, that was because of your motor cortex, which is in charge of voluntary movements.
It didn't really feel voluntary. It was almost like I was running on a motor.
Well, it could have also been your cerebellum, because your cerebellum is in charge of motor control.
I'm sure it wasn't even that bad. You probably can't even come up with an explanation of how bad it was.
Well, first I saw you swing the bat, then I heard it hit me in the face, and then I felt it hit me in the face, and then I smelled blood in my nose, and I tasted blood in my mouth. See, the reason I could feel and see and hear all those things was because of my sensory cortex, which controls my senses.
Well, I'm sitting on your left. How were you able to defend yourself from getting a brain injury when I attacked you on your right?
That's because of my corpus callosum, which attaches the left and right hemispheres of my brain. That way we can sense things all around us. It's great.
So if you're so smart, how were you able to scream while I was hitting you with the bat?
That's because of my Broca's area, which is in charge of speech production.
Okay, so just screaming? What about other things?
Well, you see, if I had said something like, ow, or that hurt, or stop that, or don't hit me with a baseball bat, you're not getting a web show, then that would have been my Wernicke's area, which controls written and spoken language. Taylor, if you don't mind me asking, do you remember how many times you hit me?
I don't know, like 17? Something like that.
Now you see, Taylor, the reason you're able to know that is because of your angular gyrus. It controls things like number processing and memory retrieval. So you can remember numbers. Am I right?
Keep acting like that much of a nerd and I'll hit you again.
Okay, I think that's enough for tonight. Alright everyone, be sure to tune in next week for The Late Show with Kylee Stobb. I'm your host, Kylee Stobb. Have a great night.
Bye everyone, make sure to catch my web show when I'm famous like iCarly.